Rieger is the English Department Chair at Upper Merion High School in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, and teaches 12th grade advanced placement and creative writing classes. Jen holds a BA in English, an MA in English Literature, and is currently finishing her MFA thesis, a collection of creative nonfiction essays and poetry pieces on loving the hell out of all the beautiful people in her life. Please welcome Jennifer Rieger.
So this is called Everyday Sacred. It was early September, and Anna and I decided to meet at Starbucks. I marveled at how the summer had escaped me. It had already been 3 months since her valedictorian speech, 3 months since her sweet letter to me, 3 months since we said goodbye. I missed her, this nervous, overachieving Jesus lover. I had taught Anna's brother 2 years prior, and I adored Mitch. So funny, so smart. He was a complete goofball with his friends, but he'd do anything in the world for me. Anna possessed the same kindness as her brother, but as with most siblings I teach, there were some striking differences. Anna worried about everything. She worried about my class, about maintaining her flawless academic record, and about the next step in life. She was also devoutly religious. Our community is a mixed bag of cultures and faiths. It's one of the reasons I love it and why I wanted my son to grow and learn here. He was exposed to roughly everything: Christians, Jews, Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists, pagans, agnostics, atheists, new agey, hippie, humanists, and I'm sure I'm missing something. All have taught me important lessons. All have enriched my view on the world. For almost 20 years now, I have been given the opportunity to wander out of my little Judeo-Christian bubble and explore, question, doubt. It was awkward as hell at first. I am, after all, a public school teacher and a full believer of separation of church and state. But I also made sense of that for myself. Separation doesn't have to mean ignoring an important part of a student's life. Similar to political discussion, eating in class when you're hungry, and wearing denim when I damn well please, the taboo of religion in the classroom now falls under my veteran teacher category of things I do not give a shit about anymore. If it adds to our class discussion or enhances a piece of writing, go for it. My motto: let's teach our kids to have honest, civil conversations towards understanding. When students write about God in their college essays, I take the opportunity to question a little more about their faith and culture, how they grew up, what kind of role this plays in their lives. Will it be a deciding factor in their choice of college? Sounds pretty idyllic, right? Such a sweet little suburban melting pot. But nothing is ever that easy. A romantic to the core, I want to be a believer. I want to be among the faithful. But just when I think I have a solid handle on spirituality, when I'm one with the universe, I'm slapped in the face with ugliness, childhood cancer, hunger, car accidents, mental illness. Additionally, take a look at the history of religion, or even open a newspaper. There you are, about to enjoy your morning coffee and bagel, and bam, hypocrisy is there to say, "Good morning. Let me add a rather shitty start to your day. You were looking just a little too content." But Anna was different. She brought a new perspective to my classroom. She was high on Jesus, and it was genuine. She didn't focus on church rules, political ridiculousness, or try to convince others that they should believe what she believed. She possessed a pure devotion to the teachings of Christ: goodness, love, compassion, selflessness, honesty, generosity. And even though she was incredibly hard on herself at times, she turned to her faith for guidance and reassurance, and what a love, sometimes she turned to me. There are a few people in my life who are just too good for this world. Their present heals, their energy restores. Their love is so intense, it leaves me feeling so very big and so very small all at the same time. A fellow teacher whose quiet but strong belief in progress turned into the battle cry of our school's character education program. 2 former students whose love of learning transcends this world. a college professor who helped me use my words, find my voice, to rise up in the shadow of stigma and self-doubt. 2 poet friends who have the ability to reach into my soul with their verse and into my heart with their eyes. And Anna is one of these people. We spent a year discussing literature, writing, college, friendship, and love. I listened intently as she merged her faith into every aspect of her life, beautifully molding her world. While there were many days when she chatted away in my blue chair, our deepest conversation was through email. Classic 21st century emotional connection. She had sent me a spoken word poem by a Christian poet she liked, and we went back and forth discussing its meaning and how it related to our lives. Miss Rieger, I wish you would come to my church with me. Ouch. And there it was. Through all my conversations with students, it was the only time one had invited me. I'm not a churchgoer. The irony is I love churches, especially old ones. I like to research their history, wander their cemeteries. If they have crypts, damn, even better. I like to sit in sanctuaries by myself and think, not even necessarily about faith, but about anything. Sometimes I like to take my journal into a quiet corner and write, allowing the light piercing its way through the stained glass to dance across my lifeless paper, across my aging skin. The faces of the saints cheer me on, smiling down on the particularly bad days. Sometimes the smell of old wood, books, and dissipated incense calms me in a way no glass of wine can. Sometimes I lower the kneelers, perch myself quietly, and stare at the ceiling in wonder, knowing that after centuries upon centuries of scientific study, doubt, plague, and war, sacred mystery remains, and it will, after I'm gone, after you're gone, until the day when mothers stop gazing into their babies' faces in awe, the day all the addicts hitting bottom give up, the day artists put down their pens and brushes, the day society stops fearing death. Faith will permeate through the walls of collected memory and linger in the corners of DNA. Anna, you are so great, and thank you, but that's not for me. My church is my classroom. It's my interactions with friends in coffee shops. It's my mom's dinner table on Christmas night. It's the hospital room when my students are sick or injured or dying. It's the school auditorium on Ivy Day. It's Challenge Day. Does that make sense to you? I knew it did before she even said it. Inviting me was simply her way of sharing something she loved most in her life with a person she loved. And I was honored. Anna was discerning enough to know I struggled with religion, with extremists, with hypocrisy. And even though I was raised a Christian and had a positive experience with the United Methodist Church, the adult, organized part of church left me unsettled. Still, I still go from time to time when life gets hard, when I need to hear music or words of comfort, or when I want to be reminded of the tiny church in Crescent, Pennsylvania where I spent my summers. Am I the hypocrite? Maybe. I place offerings in the church collection plate for my gratitude and for my guilt, and I leave. Maybe I'll return in a few months, or maybe in a few years, or maybe I'll just be content to embrace the everyday blessings of my life. In all her perfectionist glory, Anna became one of the class's 8 valedictorians. She almost self-sabotaged by purposely getting a B to avoid speaking at graduation. I gently scolded her, reminding her to stay true to herself, that she didn't have to speak if she didn't want to. But the more I met with my amazing dream team of academics, crafting, editing, rehearsing, the more excited Anna became to face her public speaking fear and stand with her peers. It was a beautiful speech that encapsulated all 8 personalities. They worked diligently, in person and online. As graduation night approached, Anna said to me, "Do you know where you'll be sitting? I'm so nervous." but I think if I just look at you, I'll be okay. We made a plan, and on the big night, that's exactly what she did. She delivered her part with the grace she's known for, not taking her eyes off me as I mouthed the words along with her. When it ended, she glowed, and that light I feel from her whenever she's around permeated the entire pavilion. The love of her class, her family, her teachers, her love of God. Her graduating class was so special to me, and this speech was just one little part of an amazing night, an amazing year with them. They taught me a lot. I don't get to see them every day anymore, but I feel their love through their likes on my social media posts, their visits during breaks, and our occasional Starbucks and Taco Tuesday outings. My people, the ones who continue to teach me goodness, love, compassion, selflessness, honesty, and generosity from miles away. They're my church. Thank you.